Hello and welcome back to the Colorado Rockies franchise. Today we're going to be doing a stat dive, going over a bunch of things. So I guess let's just get started here. About 16 games into the season. When you're looking at these stats, take into account the 2019 averages here. This is at Coors Field. If you put a league average hitter at Coors Field, this would be his stats in 2019. 274 batting average, 350 on base, 473 slugging, and an 823 OPS. And for more comparison, a 2019 stats for an average player in just any park is a 250 batting average, a 321 OBP, a 422 slugging, and a 752 OPS. So that shows you how much Coors can really affect these hitters. When our best hitter is Trevor Story, right? He has a league average hitter OPS at Coors Field. If you put like a league average hitter in Coors Field, they'd have the same stats pretty much as Trevor Story. And that's saying something, how bad our offense has really been. Chris Owings, I guess he's been okay on the OBP side, but he's not doing anything else. Garrett Hampson, he's a platoon guy. I would like to get him on the field more, but he's really not hitting. CJ Cron's been a big disappointment. He did have that grand slam, as you saw, but I mean, really got to do more than that. One hit's not going to keep you on the roster, right? Sam Hilliard, another platoon guy. We'll have to talk about these platoon guys because there's a guy later I'm going to show that's on the trade block. And we have a guy in the minor leagues that we have options that might be better than what we have on this roster right now. Better than the platoon guys we have in Daza and Hilliard. Yeah. So we'll come back to them. Just remember Hilliard's stats and remember Daza's stats when we take a look at these other players. CJ Cron just can't, especially at first base. You need a good hitter at first base, right? Like, you're not getting a ton of defensive value there, and he's not hitting. Sure, he DHs some, but he's just not good enough at DHing either. You need to hit it either way. He needs to be a good hitter, and he's not doing it. Wins above replacement. You can see Ryan McMahon, he has a home run in the last 2 games, so it doesn't surprise me he tops the team in WAR. A lot of guys right around that 0.1 range, not too good there. Yeah, Daza, Cron, both negative. Hampson's negative. The league average walk rate is 9.2% in 2020, and the league average strikeout rate in 2020 was 23.4%. So a lot of guys like Fuentes is pretty much a league average strikeout walk guy. He's a little below average on the walk, but he strikes out at league average. Ryan McMahon strikes out more. He got to cut down on that, but he walks more than average. So I don't know what to think of all these stats. I've been going through them, some of them, wondering what kind of changes we need to make on this roster to either look towards the future and, start getting young guys playing time or be better now. I mean, you have to make a decision at some point what to do with Story. We have decisions to make with, like I said, some of these platoon options, who to give more playing time than others. Chris Owings, a veteran that's not doing the greatest. CJ Cron's a guy who's a veteran who's not doing the greatest, and he's taking a playing time from other players I would like to see. At what point do we cut ties with these guys and, move on? This is look at some of these, like 154 versus lefties. Here's the home stats. So Ryan McMahon hit 308 at Coors, which, if you remember, a league average hitter at Coors in 2019 would have hit 274. CJ Cron down here at 184 at Coors. Oh, you just can't be doing that. Let's get to the pitching, I guess. A lot of disappointment, but some bullpen guys are actually really impressive here. We'll get to this by ERA. We got Yency Almonte, who we called up. Ben Bowden, one of our top pitching prospects. I think he was the number 2 pitching prospect, and he's been pretty good. Carlos Estevez too. So a couple guys like that, it's good to see. But we need some other. Felix had that one awful start, but he has actually been a lot better in his other 2. Nice to see that. So he's not going anywhere. German Marquez has been really disappointing. Perez, we need him to start turning it around as well. Daniel Bard's only had a few chances. Need to get him on the mound more. Only 4 innings. Michael Gibbons has 5 2/3. He had the one bad appearance. Some of these are small sample size. I mean, this is a small sample size. It's only like 16 games in, but I wanted to do a stat dive quick. Home runs is what really is killing us in our pitching staff. I mean, you have 3 starters that have allowed 5 home runs. Our starting pitching has allowed 20 home runs through 16 games, and there's still more from the bullpen. But you're not winning games when you're giving up that many home runs. As bad as our hitting's been, our pitching has still been worse. And, that's you kind of expected with the Rockies, right? You're playing where you're at with the high altitude, you're going to have bad pitching. But the hitting on top of that is just, dang. So got to get better at least at one of them. FIP, fielding independent pitching, a league average FIP was 4.15 last season in 2020, and it was 4.48 in 2019. So not too many guys are below league average here. A lot of guys way over. But remember, again, 16 games. I got to keep reminding myself that. I'm going to keep reminding you guys that. Take a look at the actual stat leaders for the entire MLB. You can see Tatis, who we haven't played the Padres yet. He's absolutely destroying. Once you see the wins above replacement, he's dominating that doubles. Ahmed Rosario, we just faced the guy he got traded for in Lindor. So that's good to see. A 40-year-old leading the whole entire MLB in home runs with 10. He's the first guy to hit double digits. That's crazy to me that he's still out here slugging home runs. And who knows, with the NL getting the DH, if the Twins don't end up keeping him after the season, there will be an NL team that will take him as their DH. These are the runs leader here. You got Brantley. Looks like the Astros must be doing pretty decent. The White Sox got a bunch of guys there. Harper tied with Lindor for runs scored. Lindor's batting so low in the order. I don't know. I guess he comes back up. The top of the order comes back up when he's on base. So that's probably why he's doing that. Stolen bases don't really happen too much anymore. So those are the leaders, though. Juan Soto, of course, one of the best hitters in baseball. Tatis in second here with the defense at shortstop. I know he's made a lot of errors in real life, but this game has been pretty good at defense. More Padres leading the ERA. Looks like they're doing great. We're going to play them. We're probably going to get crushed, but still want to play them at some point. Got to see their team and their star players. Got some exciting guys. Strikeouts here. A couple Dodgers, of course. Bauer and Kershaw. Darvish, always nice to see him as a Cubs fan up here on these stats. Wish he was still on the team, but kind of understand the trade, I guess, a little. Surprising here, Oriole pitchers actually have some good stats going. They're actually leading their division. When we get to the standings here, you'll see that. But before that, we'll go through some of this war here, pitching war. Of course, there's a Dodger, two Dodgers, two Padres there. Yeah, look at that, 1.9. He's almost lapping the field. Tatis absolutely on pace to win an MVP, it looks like. Kyle Lewis and Cesar Hernandez. Who would have guessed that? And then Nelson Cruz, the top three guys. Of course, we're in last place in the division. Dodgers and Padres are both atop. Looking like the NL Central is, pretty close. Cardinals somehow 5-11, but I'm sure they'll bounce back and catch up. NL East, everybody's really close. That's kind of expected. You got the wild card race here. A lot of the teams hovering around that 500 mark, except for the Padres, who obviously should be leading a division. The Orioles are surprisingly in first place. Their pitching is doing really well, so kind of still surprising though, seeing them in first place at all in their division. Twins, led by Nelson Cruz there. I'm sure everybody but Astros fans does not want to see them leading their division. Orioles are actually holding the wild card spot. Blue Jays, a couple teams down there right around that 500 mark. Here's the guy I was looking at trading for, actually, from the Indians. Harold Ramirez. They're still competing kind of for division and wild card race. His stats look pretty good. We could have an open spot in the corner with Daza and Hilliard not playing well in their platoon. He hits well versus both lefties and righties. These are his major league stats in 2019 and 2020. He's in the minors, so they don't really value him. He looks like he's doing really well down here in AAA. So it's a guy I was thinking about trading for. I want to know what you guys think. Should we trade for Harold Ramirez, or should we call up Cole Sturgeon? If you're looking at these stats, Cole Sturgeon looks like he's absolutely killing it, along with Connor Joe down here at AAA. They're only 10 games, 11 games in, but those are our options. We need. I kind of want to make a little change there. And I don't know which one to do. Cole Sturgeon, Harold Ramirez. It doesn't look like it would take a ton to get Harold Ramirez, but we already have Cole Sturgeon on the roster. As you can see, looks like, I don't know what the league average stats are down here at AAA, but I'm sure that a lot of our hitters are actually above it. Connor Joe leading a lot of these categories. Nice to see Greg Bird hitting a bunch of doubles considering the injuries he's had, still running bases, I guess. Wins above replacement, yeah, of course, the same couple guys here. Nice to see Max McDowell drawing walks. He's not the greatest hitter, but he's a good defensive catcher, and he's walking. That's good to see. Of course, let's just assume, if you're assuming the stats are around the same average, 23% strikeout rate and a 9% walk rate. Still got Cole Sturgeon's a little below the walk rate, but he's also a little above the strikeout rate, so he's doing good at those. A pitcher I thought about calling up is Ryan Castellani here. He is absolutely dominating at AAA. Only in, I think, 3 starts, maybe 2 starts. I don't know for sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. Again, maybe 4. Where is it at? I don't know. I didn't see it in time. Dang it. Oh, there it is. 2 starts. 2 starts for Ryan Castellani. He is absolutely dominating. So we could call him up, but he doesn't really have a spot in the rotation right now. And then we also have Kyle Freeland, who will be coming back at some point pretty soon because we're almost at the end of the month. He'll be back. Then we have Gonzalez, who's on the IL. So I don't know if it'd be smart to call him up because he'd really only be up for maybe like a game or 2 max. And is that even worth it? Maybe, maybe not. He is dominating down there at AAA, and he's worth keeping an eye on. Like I said, 5 days for Gonzalez until he's off the IL, and then we'll have to make a decision between him and Volskez. Freeland, he's out for the rest of April, but that's only like a week and a half. Yeah, week and a half. But yeah, just tell me what you guys think below about all these questions and some of the stats, and then we'll see you for a regular episode next time. So see you then.